Republican governor says he is. The director of that state's health department says he is. His birth certificate says he is. But our third story in the countdown, some people still say President Obama is not an American citizen. Take a look at this recent encounter during a town hall meeting on health care between Republican Mike Castle and one angry conspiracy nut.
Congressman Castle, I want to know, I have a birth certificate here from the United States of America saying I'm an American citizen with a seal on it, signed by a doctor with the hospital administrator's name, my parents, my date of birth, the time, the date. I want to go back to January 20th, and I want to know, why are you people ignoring his birth certificate? He is not an American citizen. He is a citizen of Kenya. I am American. My father fought in World War II with the greatest generation in the Pacific Theater for this country. And I don't want this flag to change. I want my country back.
Well, I know one comment that invites if you're referring to the president there, he is a citizen of the United States. He is a citizen of the United States.
Just yesterday, Rush Limbaugh on the radio. I have to prove to New York City and state tax authorities where I have been every day for the past 3 years. Barack Obama has yet to have to prove that he's a citizen. All he has to do is show a birth certificate. And Army Major Stefan Frederick Cook, who challenged the legality of his deployment, claiming that based on the birth issue, the president wasn't really the president. But let's get real. MSNBC's own website, First Read, asks, if Mr. Obama weren't a United States citizen, don't you think first the Clinton camp or then the McCain camp would have said something during the 2-year presidential campaign? And if you were to believe Mr. Obama was not born in America, you'd have to believe that not only the present governor and the health department are lying, but that it began back in 1961 with the Hawaiian newspapers that printed his birth announcement in 1961 and the Kapi'olani Hospital where he was born. Also, Mr. Obama could become President Obama 48 years later. Let's bring in from Washington, D.C., Democratic strategist Chris Kofinas. Chris, thanks for coming on.
Thanks, David.
This citizenship stuff is not idle chatter in the GOP. What does it say about the intellectual integrity or lack thereof in the GOP when so many Republicans believe this canard?
Well, it suggests that there are a lot of Republicans out there with some disturbing beliefs, and I think that too many have gotten in the car and driving fast to crazy town. What's interesting about these conspiracy theories, there are conspiracy theories out there that say we never landed on the moon. There are conspiracy theories out there that say Elvis is still alive. There are conspiracy theories, and this is my personal favorite, that the royal family are actually reptilian aliens from the planet, I believe, or solar system Draco. I don't even know where that is, but, and that may be true, I don't know. But the notion, here is that you have Republicans basically falling into these kind of crazy conspiracy theories. I just didn't know that so many conspiracy theorists apparently registered Republican. But here's where it actually gets a little bit more disturbing for me. There seems to be a pattern of behavior when it comes to certain Republicans with every administration. If you remember back with the Clinton administration, there were people making the despicable conspiracy theory that somehow Vince Foster was murdered instead of committing suicide. And this, I think, is a pattern where they try to sully and discredit a Democrat, in this case, obviously, President Obama, his rightful win in November. And again, I think it's a very scary statement about where the Republican, or at least some factions of the Republican Party are.
There are a group of Republicans in Congress sponsoring a bill that would require presidential candidates to prove their birth certificates. Some of these lawmakers claim we aren't talking about President Obama, but that's what their wingnut constituents are focused on. So what are the lawmakers doing?
Well, what they're doing is wasting time. they're wasting the time of their constituents. They're basically wasting their rightful place in terms of dealing with the problems that the country faces. This notion of somehow President Obama is not an American citizen. Anyone can go to factcheck.org and actually see the evidence that makes it very clear that he is an American citizen. But the problem with conspiracy theories is you can't disprove them. It's because these people will never believe any of the facts. And what's scary to see is that members of Congress, any member of Congress, would directly or indirectly give this credence. You would think they would actually spend more time coming up with a health care proposal instead of wasting their time with these kind of useless pieces of legislation. But, again, that's not too surprising.
The bigger picture seems to be that if President Obama was not born where the evidence shows he was, the right wing can validate their feeling that Mr. Obama's not one of us. He's not really an American. To his credit, Congressman Castle, who we saw in the video, condemned that thought and those who go there. But don't other Republicans, for the good of the party, have a responsibility to also say President Obama was born in the United States and he is an American citizen?
They do, and unfortunately, I'm not sure how many are going to. Some may choose not to because they don't want to give this kind of crazy theory any credence. Some, may not because they actually are afraid of what you saw in that Castle Town Hall, a just riled up group of people who believe this. And, these conspiracy theories are disturbing on multiple fronts. One of my old professors said to me that conspiracy theories are the easy answer for the weak-minded. And there's a weak-mindedness to Republicans when it comes to solving the major problems that the country faces. And now you're seeing these dangerous, I would say, elements, that are basically trying to discredit President Obama's victory and suggest that he didn't win and didn't win rightfully. And the problem with that is it takes us down a very dangerous path. And for me, it's not only discrediting it, I'm starting to get the sense that there's some real racial, undertones to this. And that is not only sad, but it's disturbing. I would hope that Republicans, when they hear this, do more than just what Representative Castle did, which he obviously said President Obama is a citizen. They need to be more forceful in condemning this.
Democratic strategist Chris Kofinas. Chris, thanks as always. Great to see you tonight.
Thanks, David.